Woods Wall, Action and Adventure in the Florida Keys. Mac Travis Adventures, Book 2. Written by Stephen Becker. Performed by Paul J. Mcsorley. Chapter 1. Pete looked over his shoulder at the spread. The fishing lines glistened in the sun as they trailed behind the 24-foot boat, trolling southwest through the light chop of the Gulf Stream. The wind was light, the water glassy with a gentle swell. Satisfied the lines were running true, he returned his focus to the water. He looked over at his friends, lulled into a state of semi-consciousness by the motion of the boat and the beers they had drank. They had been hammering beers all day. He wondered how it had taken them this long for them to pass out. It had been a good day, with plenty of mahi-mahi in the fish box. He was thinking about calling it a day and heading back in. "Birds at 1 o'clock!" he yelled. He had been scanning the water for any sign of life. Birds and debris were the ticket for bait, which led to bigger fish. Dan and Jeff popped awake. "Come on, guys, one more. Let's go." Pete steered toward the birds while Jeff checked the lines. The three friends had fished together long enough that they had the smoothness of a well-oiled machine, each knowing their jobs. The boat moved closer to the birds, clearly working some bait on the surface. The three men watched as the birds crashed and soared, intent on the bait below, as the boat pulled through the bait pod. The clicker buzzed as one of the reels gave line. "Fish on!" Pete continued the course and speed to set the hook and see if they could get another fish to hit one of the 4 remaining baits. "It's pretty good size. Let's pull in the other lines." Dan grabbed the rod with the fish and held it high to keep it clear of the other lines. He left the drag loose, letting the fish take some line off as Jeff brought in the rods. Pete circled the boat around as Dan reeled. The fish jumped, revealing itself, then crashed and sounded. Dan continued to bring in line. The fish was close now, but was startled when it saw the boat and pulled harder, the drag whizzing as line came off the reel. Dan let it run, sweat dripping from his brow, waiting for the inevitable as the fish jumped and crashed sideways into the water, irritated by the hook and the pull of the line. This was the crux of the fight. The fish would soon lose energy. They went back and forth, the fish jumping, Dan patiently bringing it closer. "He's ready," he finally yelled. At that, Jeff grabbed the gaff and stood by Dan at the side of the boat as Pete drove, watching the water, keeping the fish parallel with the boat. The boat moved slowly through the water. The exhausted fish, its electric blue color now half green with fatigue, slid next to the boat. Jeff lowered the gaff into the water and...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?